All right, let's go ahead and get this started. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for taking time out of your busy conference schedule to join us. We're very excited to be here to take you through some recent and upcoming enhancements to the Office 365 web experience. My name is Nick Robinson, and I'm a technical product manager working on Office 365. I'm joined today by Raza Saeed and Catherine Pigeon from the program management team for the Office 365 Suite experience. Today, we're excited to share and show a bit about the existing and upcoming features that enable scenarios in the web experience that deliver on the personalized, consistent, and productive principles we believe in. We'll share a bit about the team's mission and vision, and we'll show a couple demos, one around personalization and productivity, and another focused on customizations and management. We'll highlight scenarios that show the power of the Suite experience to drive productivity for your team. Then, we'll take a quick look ahead at what's coming up on the roadmap before wrapping up with a bit of Q&A. However, before we get started, I'd like to clarify a few things. Now, I fully expect that some of you might be attending this session just to find out what the heck we are talking about when we say Suite user experience. And some of you may have an idea of what we're talking about, but are here to understand specifically what we mean. So before we jump into the content, I want to spend a few minutes highlighting what we are specifically talking about when we say Suite user experience. Now, bear with me for a moment. Office 365 is a suite of services. Of course, we have Exchange, delivering email and calendar. We have Word, PowerPoint, and Excel that provide the best documents and spreadsheets in the world. We have OneDrive for Business that provides unlimited cloud storage for all of your files and documents. And then there are additional applications defining entirely new categories like content discovery with Delve, enterprise social with Yammer, Office 365 video, and the list literally goes on. So, then the Suite user experience is the experience of those applications a user like you, me, Raza, Catherine, has when they use any of these services on the web, online. That's the key. So the Suite user experience has a distinction from the downloaded, installed, rich desktop clients that many of our customers install on their computers. The Suite experience is how these applications work together online. The interactions between, the navigation, the customization, and integration, and many of the things that we'll be talking about today. So with that, hopefully we all have a better understanding of what we mean when we say Suite user experience. And I'd like to bring Raza up for a few minutes on the principles driving the roadmap for the Suite and the vision we're working towards as a team.
Okay, great. Thanks, Nick. So let me start by talking a little bit about what my team's mission is. So we are the Suite Experience team, and we are responsible for all the shared experiences in the Office 365 Suite. Now, what does that mean? That means all the experiences starting from the sign-up to commerce, all the way to Office 365 Shell. Now, in this presentation today, you're going to hear the term Shell over and over again. So what we mean by Shell, it is the UX and the services that you see on every workload when you're navigating within the Office 365. It's that UX and services layer which we call Shell. It is what binds these workloads together into a cohesive suite. It is our belief that a cohesive suite of integrated apps is a much more valuable thing for our customers than these workloads by themselves. So that's what we mean by Shell. Now, when you are a shared team, defining your mission is a multidimensional task. So fundamentally what we are about is we are about building functional, compelling, and high-value experiences that span across the suite. They're not in just one workload, though they go across. And from that perspective, our core mission is about creating an experience which drives adoption of the suite. We believe that when people adopt Suite, it drives engagement within the core workloads. And that engagement as a results in higher productivity, results in faster return of investment for our customers. So that's what basically our teams, my clicker is working, primarily about. Now let me talk a little bit about the key principles that the suite is built on. So I call these 5 pillars of the suite. So let me start by talking about consistency. What we mean by consistency is that if there are certain common tasks, we want to make sure that they are done the same way across the suite. You should be able to do the same task the same way if you are in Outlook for Web Access, OVA, or if you, for example, start using a new workload such as Delve, those common tasks should not have a different navigation and usage behavior. So there is a lot of focus as we think about suite in driving consistency. Let me talk about productivity. Now this is a key pillar on which the suite is built. And when we talk about productivity, it is primarily about 2 things. The first thing is about allowing users to complete their task within their context. What I mean by that is that if you are in OVA and doing something, if we take you out of that experience to complete a task, you will have a context switch. Our research indicates that it takes up to 20 minutes for you to come back to the task that you were doing initially. So context switches are expensive. So we have spent a lot of energy and resources in building in-context experiences. Some of them we'll demo later in this session. The second key thing about productivity, and this is a very basic thing, but it is still work in progress, unfortunately, I have to say. And that is about making sure that we don't force duplicative data entry for our users. So if you have provided some information to us inside OVA, we don't want to ask it again in OneDrive, for example. So it's all about making sure that they're shared cross-suite settings that are configured in one place. So let me move to the third key pillar of the suite very quickly. And the third key pillar is about personalization. What we believe is that users are individuals, and they work in slightly different ways. They all have their preferences. So as we think about suite building features, we consistently think that what can we do to allow end users to tailor their experiences based upon their needs. So again, in the sessions, in the demos, in the actual 2 demos, you will see a lot of functions and features which will show on end user personalization. The fourth pillar is informed. It's all about staying up to date. The suite goal is that no matter where you are aware of your entire ecosystem. So, and this is critical because all of us know that the value or the disadvantage of missing an important email, or an important meeting is pretty high. So again, as we think through suite, we want to make sure that you get the right information at the right time. And finally, managed. So administrators are probably the most important users of our suite in a lot of ways. So as we think about suite, we constantly think that what ability can we provide to administrators to customize the experience for their entire enterprise. What I mean by that is we know that every organization has different organizational culture, different organizational identity. So we want to make sure that we provide features that administrators can show that identity and customize the experience so that the O365 experience just doesn't look like an experience coming from Microsoft. It looks like an experience that is coming from the company or the organization itself. So those are the key 5 principles. Throughout our session, demos, we will refer back to them and reinforce them. So let me talk a little bit about the journey we are on. So we set this vision for Office 365 Suite roughly 2 years ago. And over the last 2 years, we have been shipping value in each one of these pillars consistently. So let's talk about consistency. Now, I think most of you are aware that we started with a common header, which is just like any other menu item that you see on a portal. It's very functional, but really it's not scalable. We heard from our customers that, oh, we want to add my own links in this header. And like even within Microsoft, as we are adding new workloads, everybody said, can I add my own app here, so on and so forth. So the model was not very scalable. Now, more recently, we have moved to an app launcher model. We'll talk about it a lot in this discussion, how we customize it, how we personalize it. But the reason we did the app launcher model was to get around this scalability question. So now we have an app launcher where there are multiple tiles, and there is more real estate, and a lot more we can do with that. Let me talk about productivity. Now, I talked about avoiding duplicative data entry. Behind the scene in Office 365 Suite, we have built a shared settings service. And what that service does is that it allows you to, for example, if you set your language or your theme, you have to set it only in one place, and then it applies across the suite. So there are significant things we are delivering in that space. More recently, we have introduced a home page. Again, the goal for us to introduce this home page is to drive productivity. We'll talk a little bit more about where that home page is going, show it, and what can be done with that. Personalization. Now, let me ask, how many of you have seen the app launcher? The 4 boxes, yeah. So if you notice that end user can move the tiles around, they can drag and drop. They can actually select some of the tiles if they wish and pin them to the nav bar. Now, as we moved the links out of the navigation, there was a lot of feedback from our customers that now things are 2 clicks away. So we have given the power to end user that if they, on the app launcher, they like a tile, they can pin it to the header. In addition to that, and this is just being rolled out, is we are introducing My Apps section, where basically third-party apps can show up. And we allow end users to go to My Apps section and pick any of the app tiles and pin them to the app launcher. So again, providing ability to end users to completely personalize the tiles. We'll also show you some other cool features. They have been around for theming, where end user can change the theme, and as they change the theme, it is actually applied across the board, across the workload. So quite a bit of investments and quite of things we have already delivered on the personalization front. On the informed side, I actually talked about building a shared layer in Office 365 Suite. We have done actually 2 things here. We have built a notification layer that goes across our workload. We have also built an insight layer, which means that as users are using multiple workloads, we can actually target experiences based upon their usage. So, for example, notifications that like email notifications or the calendar reminders, which you only used to get in OVA, now they are across the suite. You get them from OneDrive, if you are in OneDrive or any other workload. And we are just starting there. But the whole vision is that the notifications are across suite. We have actually beefed up the Me control, which is on the header, over the last few months. For example, you can see that you can set your presence, you can access your profile from the Me control, you can change the profile. This is the way, for example, you can let others know, about your presence as well as what they want to see about you. And managed. I mentioned earlier that admins are probably the most important users in a lot of ways when it comes to customization. So we have added organizational customization options. And we'll show you how an admin can go co-brand the nav experience as well as do other customizations. In addition to that, our entire experience is smart. So things like subscriptions, if you have certain things, we will automatically find that out. And for your customers, the tiles manifest that. Like admins don't start from scratch. We actually out of the box configure the whole thing for you. So there is a lot of capabilities we are adding there. So I've very quickly gone through the vision and the key principles that drive the suite and the features we are building. Let's watch a quick video around. This is a video of App Launcher. which we did in January. So those of you who haven't seen it, this is your opportunity to see what we did there. Okay, so much for videos. We're now going to get deep into pretty hardcore demos, and Catherine is here to show some of the new features that are coming in the suite. Catherine?
Thank you, Raza. Am I live? Yes, I am. I can hear myself. That's awesome. All right. Thank you so much. I know those in attendance really appreciate hearing about how we prioritize features and enhancements to the service. Getting visibility into what we'll be shipping over the next couple of months will hopefully help you prep for the changes in your environments. In my demo today, we will be taking you through a day in the life of a PM at a tech company. I am working on a high visibility project called Project Chicago. And I'm working with a lot of people. I'm missing a slide, but that's okay. Didn't need it. That's fine. I'm working with a lot of people, including a vendor design resource, Nick, and my boss, Raza. And we'll take a look at the Office 365 homepage and the top navigation, or as you've heard us refer to it, the shell experiences. So why are these experiences important for your businesses? Well, since October, the Office 365 homepage has been the default page for users as they log into their businesses with Office 365. It will help them get started or re-engage quickly with the applications they need. So how many of you here using Office 365 already today have been, well, that's awesome, already. So how many of you have been asked, okay, I logged into Office 365, but where do I get Office? You know, the traditional ones, the ones that I install on my PC? Well, that's what you'll find on the homepage. Not only do we make it super simple for you to find and install your, to get to your online applications, but we also make it super simple to find and install your Office client applications as well. Many users install Office not only on their primary PC, like their Surface Pro 3, but also on their mobile devices, like their Windows Phone or their iPhone. And all of those installs can be handled on this page. It will recognize the device type and provide the appropriate installation option. Now let's take a moment to look at the shell. The Office 365 shell encapsulates the homepage and every other Office 365 application. It is the glue of Office 365. At its core, it provides navigation, but its value is far greater than that. Our users will be more productive and effective thanks to the experiences that we enable for them in this shell. And that's what I'm going to demo for you today. Now, a quick disclaimer before I get started. These are hot off the press features, and we are demoing from Microsoft internal servers. So pretty much anything could happen as we go along here, but that'll just make it all that much more exciting. All right, so I have logged into Office 365 for the first time today, working on Project Chicago, and I'm going to go to my mail to find out what's been going on since I last logged in. I'm going to use the mail tile on my homepage to get there. Now, once in email, if I want to navigate further, I'm going to be using the App Launcher. The App Launcher is my navigation across the suite, and I've tailored it to meet my specific needs. You'll see, for instance, that Mail is the first application, then Calendar. But next is Excel. I am a PM. I create tables and charts all the time. I need Excel at the top of my App Launcher so I can easily find it. there are other features that I can take advantage of in here. As you've seen, I can drag and drop to reorder applications in the launcher. But I can also remove apps that I don't think I'll use every day using the context menu on the tile. And this is going to make it easier for me to get to the applications I do use every day. And don't worry, just because I've removed the application from the launcher doesn't mean that it's permanently gone. I can still get to the application at any time from the My Apps page. Now, the My Apps page provides access to the online applications that I've acquired or that have been provided to me. And that includes third-party applications and LOBs. And I can easily pin any of these applications to my launcher using the same context menu. And for those go-to apps, the ones that I flip between regularly or that I use all the time, I can pin those applications to my top navigation. That way, I have easy one-click access. Perfect. So my app launcher is exactly what I want it to be, and this is helpful because it's going to make it easier for me to get to what I want, when I want it, because I know exactly where it is. All right. So now that I've taken you on that little detour of app launching, let me go back to mail and see what's going on today. All right, so as I scan my inbox, I see a new mail from Nick, my designer working with me on Project Chicago, and he's shared some designs with me to review. Great, let's take a look. As I open it up, you'll see that the deck is opened in context in my inbox so that I can quickly reply to Nick with my thoughts and concerns. As I opened it up, I saw a toast arriving from Raza. This toast is valuable to me because at a glance, and without my need to interact, I can see who has emailed me and make a decision about what I want to do next. In this case, it's Raza, my boss, so I'm definitely interested in what he's looking for. I didn't get a good look at that toast, though. But I do see a number on the notification icon in the shell. And this lets me know that there's something that's arrived that I might not have seen yet. Clicking on the icon, I get the new notification pane. And here I can quickly see the mail from Raza. Let's open it up and get a better look. Now you'll see as I open it that I don't actually lose the context of my current work. I can even quickly reply to Raza and let him know that I'm working on this schedule with priority. It really seems important to get this schedule done. All right, well, look, why don't I just do it now? It's not going to take much time. I am a big fan of Excel for creating schedules, so let's go there. Now, I could take advantage of any of these templates from Excel, but I actually know what I need to create today, so I'm just going to create a new blank workbook. Now, Excel Online is the online version of Excel. I don't need the Excel client application to complete any of what I'm showing you right now. In fact, I don't need any client applications to show this entire demo. All right, so I have some deliverables. You'll have to bear with my typing today. All right, deliverables and a timeline. Great, so I'm doing some planning on this project, which is going to be done by May 24th. Then the designs from Nick are due in by June 15th. Development is going to take about a month. Man. Great, that will be done by July 17th. And that will make us ship ready by August 1st. All right, now let's make this a little bit more readable. The feature I'm going to use is called Tell Me. Tell Me lets me search for any command across all of the tabs and options available to me in Excel. I'm just going to type in table, because that's what I'm looking for. And here's the result, format as table. Great. Yes, I do have headers. Oh, that looks so much better. You're going to be seeing a lot more of this type of functionality in the future. All right, and let's give it a name that makes sense. So Project Chicago schedule. Great. Now, how many of you have ever copied and pasted the URL of a document into an email? Or how many of you have spent days searching your email for that document that someone attached and sent to you? Well, we have a crazily simple solution. We call it sharing. So you click on share, and then you just add the folks that you want to share it with. So Raza. Let me share it with Nick as well. And a little message. Great. And now Raza, Nick, and I have all received an email with a link to the document. And I didn't even need to leave Excel. All right, done and dusted. Let's get back to reviewing these designs from Nick. Okay. Great. So Nick has just sent me an email saying that the project is going to slip by 2 weeks. And I've only literally just created it and sent it to my boss. All right, let's quickly engage with Nick and find out what's going on. How should I do that? What would you guys do today? Send an email? Yes, Skype, absolutely. Yes, let's do it in context of what we're doing right now. Let me introduce to you Skype for Business Conversations in the shell. Clicking on Skype, I can search for Nick and start an IM conversation with him. Hey, Nick, what's this about a 2-week delay? Now, in case you hadn't noticed, we have 3 applications working simultaneously in the browser right now: PowerPoint, email, and Skype. And I can close or minimize any of these and continue with the others. All right, so Nick's out the first 2 weeks of June, and I really don't want to take a 2-week slip in this schedule. So let's find out if there's someone who can cover for him. Okay. So at this point in real life, I lose contact with Nick. Maybe for a few hours, maybe even a day, depending on how reliable Nick is. But it doesn't have to end that way. Why don't we just add Katie to the conversation and find out if she's available? So let me click on Add Participant. I'm going to search for Katie. Oh, you know you do. All right, let me try that one more time. There we go. All right, and Katie's been added. You can see her tiny little picture up there. All right, so let's add Katie, and let's find out if she's available. Now, Katie, for folks who may not be aware, she is all the way back in Seattle right now with a script by her desk getting ready to respond to me. All right, so Katie could cover, but only for the 2nd week of June. That's great. At least 1 week delay is better than 2, so I'll take it. Thanks, that'll work. Nick, can you bring Katie up to speed? Awesome. Thanks all. Crisis averted. Well, mostly. I still do need to allow for a 1-week delay in my project schedule. Right now, I am super grateful that I stored that document in the cloud. I can quickly go in and update the dates, and hopefully it will even be before Raza opens it for the first time. All right. Okay, so from June 15th, we'll slip out to June 23rd. This will be July 25th. And let's give ourselves some buffer and make it August 10th. Done. Thanks to Office 365, which kept me informed, I was able to create a more accurate schedule. And I was more productive thanks to my contextual, seamless conversation. And after all of that, I'm back right where I started at the Project Chicago design deck that Nick shared with me. All right, so let's review this deck and give some comments to Nick. Okay. Actually, doesn't look like Nick's done pretty much anything at this point. Nick, have you been busy this week? All right. Let me just let him know that there's more work needed on these designs. Awesome. All right. Next on my list of to-dos today is to review a white paper that a colleague had sent to me. I actually already started this review, so I know exactly where I'll find the document. It's going to be in my OneDrive recent folders. Pop over to OneDrive, into my recent folder. All right. Okay. Before I even start to look for the document, I see a reminder toast appear. And this is very valuable to me for two reasons. One, it lets me know that I have a meeting in 15 minutes, and it helps me to make a better decision about whether or not I start that white paper review. And two, well, it helps me not miss the meeting. So in this case, I'm not going to start the white paper review. I definitely wouldn't have enough time to do that in 15 minutes. I'm just going to do something else. All right, so what are the other ways that Office 365 could keep you informed? What are the things that you would like to know about? Well, it turns out that the answer is very different for each individual. For me, I want to know about email, events, and pretty much anything Office has to offer. But for others, they don't want to be interrupted unless it's something that's going to impact their experience. And thankfully, the new notification pane can help to solve for both individual preferences. The notification pane is organized by urgency and by application. So at a glance, I can check what's going on across my ecosystem and make a decision about where to go next. At the top of the notification pane is System Alerts. A system alert indicates that there's something in your system that requires your attention or things might not work as you expect. An example of this is your password expiring or a subscription requiring renewal, or for me today, a reminder that I have my out of office on. All of those are going to appear at the top of your notification pane. Next are your reminders. These are going to help you keep on top of your mail and events. I can even see older appointments that I may have missed. And I can dismiss one or all of the events. Next is mail. Mail notifications let me know what's changed in my mail since I last went there. They also help me to make a decision about whether or not I need to go to the Mail app or if I can stay here and complete what I'm doing in OneDrive. And finally, we have the first of our social notifications. As many of you are aware, Office 365 has introduced the concept of modern groups. And modern groups is a new way to enable better communication and collaboration with the people that you're working with. Well, the groups team have added a feature to like a post or comment. And if it was my post that was liked, I'll see that appear here. And remember, this pane, along with all other Shell experiences, are available across your entire suite of products. So no matter where you are, you're going to get the same consistent experience. Our customers asked for a simple and intuitive way to navigate all of their applications, and we gave them the App Launcher. Our customers asked us to help them to be more productive and effective with their day, and we've created Skype for Business conversations in the Shell. And our customers asked us to help them with changes in their ecosystem, and we created the notification pane. We look forward to delivering your asks as our customers in the Office 365 suite of products. All right, I'm going to give it over to Nick. In case you've forgotten, Nick is my designer on Project Chicago. He has also got the esteemed honor of being the IT administrator for his design firm. Nick is going to take you through a couple more shell experiences, and then he'll go deep on IT administration scenarios.
Okay. Thank you, Catherine. Let me just switch over here real quick. Great. Here I am on my home page, getting started for the day. I have a number of activities on my agenda, but I couldn't help but overhear Catherine say that she wants to get all notifications all the time. I also want to get all notifications, but I don't need sounds for new emails or calendar reminders. However, I do know that some of my team doesn't want to get any notifications so that they can stay focused on their work. Whatever the case, by clicking on the gear icon in the top right of my nav, the settings pane appears, and I have options for quick settings within the context of my current experience. So right now I'm interested in taking off the reminder sounds for new mails and for calendar reminders. So I'll just make some couple quick clicks there and save, and now that's updated. Let's see what other settings I have available to me within the context of this settings pane. I'm constantly setting out-of-office replies while I'm on the road for work, taking a few days off, or even just heads down on a project. So using the quick search at the top of the settings pane, I'll just do a quick search around automatic replies. And immediately I see that comes up, and I can do a quick click to get over to my automatic reply page. So what we're seeing here is not only do you have quick settings related to the experience you're in, but also immersive settings available via search or the More button. So quick access to contextual settings will be available as related to the app that you're working in. So for instance, if I'm in OneDrive for Business and I access the settings pane, the primary settings available in the pane will be as related to OneDrive. This is something that we're very excited about. We know settings has been a bit of a pain point, and so being able to deliver contextual settings within the pane as well as a full immersive settings experience is something that should really ease that pain. To get into the full experience, all you need to do is simply click More. All right, now about this black bar. It's making me feel a little bit gloomy. I am a designer after all. So let's just see what options I have here for the theme. I'll just refresh real quick to get this up. Bear with me for a second. And just grab my credentials. Sorry about that. Sign in. All right, where were we? Okay, so opening the settings pane again, I can access this theme panel that opens up. Let's just take a look. So let me test out a couple of these themes. This Hello Kitty theme looks interesting. I usually go for this type of thing. However, let's try a few others. Now, this bright green one also looks pretty good. Let's see here. Let's try this one called Cubism. That looks pretty cool. I like that. I'll just click Save. And what you'll see is that the theme persists not only across my top navigation bar, but also throughout my apps and the accents. So I'll just close the settings pane now, and then navigate over to my inbox using the mail tile on my home page. So you can see that the theme persists across the top nav bar as well as the apps and accents even within my inbox. So here's the schedule from Catherine. Let me just take a look and make sure that she's got the latest updates with the timeline change. So I'll open that up within the context of my inbox and take a look. So it actually looks like she's already updated the dates, which is fantastic. But I'm going to go ahead and add an owner column so everyone knows that Katie's on point while I'm out. So I'll just do that quickly. And I'm going to manage the planning, but Katie will do the designs for the June 23rd milestone. And then I'll just dot a quick note. And send that back off to Catherine. The file is auto-saved and completely up to date, and everyone has access to the latest file. So let's review quickly. With just a couple clicks, I was able to create a more personalized experience in Office 365. It was very quick, and it was provided in line of what I was already doing. Staying in context increased my productivity. I was then able to get back to work, update the file, and get it out to the team, and close off the communications. Let's see, what else do I have on my plate today? Yes, before I get to that, let me just switch into this other experience real quick so I can show you some of these new features. So as Catherine mentioned, I do have a unique perspective on Office 365 as the nominated IT admin for our small design firm. I'm guessing some of you may be able to relate to this. We seem to constantly have our hands full, and we don't have a lot of time to learn new systems. This is where the familiarity of Office has really helped to ease the transition to Office 365 and lead to faster adoption across the team. One of the challenges my team has shared with is understanding what has changed in our applications. With new features being introduced frequently, how can we expect our users to stay up to date on all the capabilities? So there's a new feature called What's New within the updated help pane that may actually help. What's New provides a non-intrusive way for your users to find out about features on their own time. So what you'll see here is in the top nav on the updated help icon, the question mark, there's now a small indicator showing me that there's new features available for me to take in. So opening the help pane, I can see some of these new features that are now available to me. So this is important. We don't want to bombard users with new features and introductions all the time. We want to make them available so that they can consume them when they are ready. So let's see here. Several new features available to me related to my OA experience. And also, there is a new feature called the Organization Support Card, where I can actually load in the support contact details for our company. So I can include our phone number, our email, and our website, as well as a quick introduction about what that's showing. This will be great for my team members when they need to access support and get in touch with me for anything that's going on in Office 365. So when Catherine talked about groups earlier, you might have been thinking, what is that? Now I'm in the same boat, so let's click on that one. So opening the groups card, I see kind of a rich description of the functionality. I also see a call out appear on the canvas showing me where the feature exists. And I can even take a quick action from the card to create my first group. Let's go ahead and do that. In this case, I'll create a group for Project Chicago, as we'll be actively collaborating and going back and forth for the next several weeks. Let's see, so I'll just name this Project Chicago and create the group. And then I'll add Catherine, Katie, and Raza to the group. And I'll even set up a quick welcome message. Welcome to Project Chicago, and send. Awesome. Now the group is created. And I can even like the message or reply all, and we have an ongoing conversation around this project. So when I close the help pane, my blue dot disappears, but the new features are still in there. And I can go back later and learn about something else when I have time or interest. Let's take a quick look at one more. Clutter. So this is for those non-priority emails that show up in your inbox, like maybe conference registration reminders or newsletters, something along those lines. At any rate, it's great to learn about that feature in context of what I'm doing related to the mail app that I'm in. Not only will new features be introduced in context, but I'll also have access to help and how-to content via the search box at the top of the help pane. So in this way, help and how-to will be available at all times. Going forward, these new feature introductions will be contextual to the application you're in. So again, a OneDrive for Business user will see the persistent pane to the right and see new feature introductions related to the OneDrive for Business experience. We're pretty excited about this because it gives me a quick way to take in features that are relevant to me on my time. All right, let me just jump back over here. Let's see, what else do I have on my plate today? Oh, that's right. I need to grab the DocuSign app. That's right. Okay, before I do that, I want to take care of a few customizations within my tenant that I've been meaning to do. So I'll just navigate over to my admin experience, my admin portal here via the app launcher. And, sorry. We're coming up here in a second. We're just loading the admin portal. Let's just get this back here. And bear with me a second. Here I am in my admin portal. In fact, let me just go ahead and, how are we doing? Is my screen updating? Interesting. Oh, there we go.
Presentation mode. Yay! How useful is that? There we go. It's just that. You just need to do.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Catherine. So here I am in my admin portal. Now, as a design firm, we care immensely about our brand, logo, and reputation, and we want all of our team members to really feel engaged and connected to that brand. So one way to do that and drive that sense of connection is actually to load the brand into the Office 365 experience. So in order to do that, I'll just navigate over to Company Profile and wait while that comes up. Hold on. What is this? Custom tiles. This is something that we're just going to take a quick look at. We're excited to respond quickly to customer feedback and provide the ability to quick pin a site to the My Apps page for the entire team so that an internal HR hub or a team site can be accessed via the app launcher directly. Let's just go through this real quick while I'm here. So I can just click the plus button to add a custom site. And in this case, I'm going to add the HR hub for Fabricom. So let me just add that here. I'll just name the tile. And then I'll give it a URL to direct folks to, and it's going to be hr.fabricom.com, and the description is all things HR for Fabricom. And then I'll just grab, let's see, an image file here to put in there. Let me just grab that quickly here. And click Submit. And that will be loaded up. And then I'll have the opportunity to manage these custom tiles directly from this experience in this page in the company profile. And what will happen is that this site will be pushed out to all my team on their My Apps page, where they can then elect to promote it to their app launcher for quick universal access. Awesome. You can see that I can then edit it or remove the tile here in the future as needed. Great. Now, where was I? So back to custom theming. All right, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and add our new updated logo to the top nav bar. And I'll just add that there. And then I can even add a URL for the logo to be clickable. So in this case, I'll just do our home page. Fabricom.com. And then I'm going to set some of these additional accents to support that. So for the accent color, I'm going to do one of our supporting brand colors, and that is #88A23. And then for the navbar background, I'm going to set that to actually match the background color of our logo. So that's going to be #EEE. Oops. EEDE8. And then I'll set the text and icon color to one of our supporting brand colors. And so that will be pound 4E4 D49. Awesome. I think that looks pretty good. Now you also have the option to override any personal themes that have been set at the user level with this button here. So for the purposes of the demo, I'll just put that in place. And then I'll click Save. Perfect. Now that is set. So it will take a little while to replicate for all users, but it will be in place well before the weekend. All right, now on to the real task at hand, getting that third-party app so that Katie can close deals. Let me just navigate over to a separate account for this portion of the demo. All right, so here I am on my home page again, and I'm just going to navigate into my admin portal. And to go and get that third-party app, I'm actually going to navigate out to the Azure AD portal. Let me just log in here real quick. Oh, one more try. There we go. So, like I was saying, here I am in my admin portal, and I'm just going to scroll down in the left-hand nav bar and access the Azure AD section, and that will launch me into the AD portal, where I can log in directly with my Office 365 credentials. Now, I've already set this up, so I don't have to go through the quick sign-up, which is very simple, and get started. So I'm already in there, and as it loads in, I'll just select the subscription that I'm interested in managing. Let's see, for today, this will be Robinson LLC. And because I'm looking for a third-party application, I'm just going to click Applications here in the top navigation. And then I'll click Add from the bottom of the pane. And then I'll be presented with a couple options. So I can either add an application that is from my organization, an LOB, or I can actually add an application from the gallery. In this case, I'm interested in an app from the gallery that's been put together by a third party. And you can see I have a number of options. There's not only these categories that I can kind of explore and look around in, but there's also a set of featured applications. Today, as I mentioned, I'm interested in DocuSign, so I'll just click on that one. And then I'll just click Check to add that. And the operation is now running to add DocuSign to my tenant subscription. Next, I'll just go through a couple quick setup steps. So I'm going to configure single sign-on for my users so that they can log in just using their Office 365 credentials. And then I'll assign the app to a couple users. In this case, Katie as well as myself. So I'll just click on Katie and click on Assign. And then I'll assign it to Nick as well. And assign that. And while those operations are running, let's see what else I can do while I'm in the AD portal. So now those are complete. I'll go back to my subscription management, and I'm going to click Configure. So I don't know about you all, but we've been looking at the photo of the Santa Monica Highway on our login page for far too long. So I'll just take care of this quickly within the Configure tab. I'm interested in this button that says Customize Branding. And what this is going to do is give me the opportunity to not only put my logo on our login page, but also set the image. So I'll just use that same new logo that we have, and I'll also set it for the tile logo in case anyone wants to pin this to their start page. So let me just add that here as well. And I'll add a little bit of text as that gets loaded up. Welcome to Fabricom Office 365. Let's see, now for the sign-in page illustration. So this is going to be great. I have a couple options here. I could do a photo from our last firm party, though HR might have some questions about that. We could do a picture of our office, although that seems a little bland. What about a photo from our last firm retreat? We always go out to the coast and everyone loves it there. I think that will be good. So let me just quickly put that up there. And then I'll click Check to complete, and I'll let those operations run. I think this will be a hit with the team. All right. So now Katie and the rest of the team have access to the third-party app that we need to close business. Our internal intranet site for HR is available to pin to her app launcher. She has a custom theme set that represents our brand, and our favorite firm retreat destination is on the login page. I'll just sign out quickly and sign back in to show you how this is going to look. one sec. Let me just open a new. And I'll just enter my credentials. There's the new login page. Looks pretty good. Definitely has a custom feel. And I'll just sign in to show you that the DocuSign app is now available from the My Apps experience. Excellent. And then I can promote that to my app launcher right here with the contextual menu. Great. Now I can get back to work on some of the early ideation for the project. Now, as you can see, Office 365 is really putting in work to help you manage your organization more effectively and with greater ease of use. We're providing you the customization and management solutions to create the experience your organization needs to do more. Personalized, productive, informed, and managed, we welcome you to leverage the power of the suite and look forward to hearing your feedback on the results. Now that we've looked at some of the features that are in place today and coming soon for both end users and admins, I'd like to bring Raza back up to show us a little bit about what's in store on the roadmap ahead.
Okay, we'll just go through. Okay, so before we take a look ahead, let me reinforce some of the key takeaways very quickly. So first of all, you saw several contextual experiences on O365 suite. They're all actually housed in something we call FlexPane. Now, FlexPane, this is where you saw, for example, the notifications without switching the context. You could check the notifications. You can have Skype conversations. We showed you help and what's new within the same thing. And Nick also showed you the settings. So they're all in context. They are all within workload. You don't need to move outside of your workload to do any of that. They're all housed in this FlexPane. And this is the model that will continue to evolve and bring. But these contextual notifications, these contextual experiences are key to how we believe will drive productivity. We showed you a bunch of admin customization. Nick showed you how to co-brand it, add a tile, so on and so forth. So that, again, you'll continue to see us adding value for admins so that they can further customize the experience for their enterprises. Last but not least, user personalization and productivity. Again, we showed you, Nick showed you how he can change the theme for himself of the nav. We showed you homepage, although it's just a start, but that's the place we believe will drive productivity for a little bit more. And then finally, we showed you a lot of navigation, customization, and app launcher. So some of these experiences have been live, such as Shell. Can anybody take a guess how many, I looked at the numbers last month, how many users use Shell? Just take a guess. And I have a t-shirt, by the way, the person who gets closest.
You want a percentage value or the actual number?
Take an actual number. It's in millions, let's say. Not that much. But that's a good start. We're getting there. 20 million? Yes, close. Higher, a little higher.
35.
Okay, 32 million is the number. So I'll throw you the shirt. That's great. So already we are seeing a lot of monthly active users for the Shell. Now, we showed you the homepage we just introduced in October. Can someone take a guess how many users access that monthly? Again, it's in millions. Another t-shirt.
45.
Close, but below. 15?
55.
Lower, 20. Someone said 20? 17. Yeah, so it's roughly 10 million. Who's the gentleman who said 17 million? 17, okay. Here is the t-shirt. Okay, you can come and get it from here. But we are basically, my arm is not that good. But it's roughly, 9.5 million users used it. We just launched it, and the usage is growing really fast. So some of the features we were showing, they are live, they're in production, and used by tens of millions of users. So we are well on our way on executing on the suite mission that we started. So let me talk about next 12 months or so, what's coming. Again, I'll go back to the principles where we started this presentation. consistency. We showed you the app launcher and the shell, and it's in all our commercial products today. Where we're going is that you are going to see the same shell on the equivalent consumer experiences. Our vision is to bring digital work and digital life together. So all the learnings you are gaining at work, for example, using our products, they will carry over to your consumer experiences and vice versa. So the shell, the app launcher, which binds it together, will also be available in all our consumer products. Let me quickly go to the next one, productivity. We showed you in-context conversation, lots of in-context experiences. We'll continue to invest there. The home page that we just showed is actually the beginning. I talked about the insights backbone that we have built. Our vision is that this home page will convert into a very targeted experience for end users, so that the home page will look and feel ideal for the user based upon his usage pattern. So we are going to this very focused, targeted experience wall. And things like Tell Me that Catherine showed inside the help section for Excel, those commands, they are going to become ubiquitous. So we are showing it. We showed you a little bit in the settings area, but you'll see more and more of those commands being available in the suite. Personalization, we're going to continue to invest there. We showed you settings in the Flex pane. We're going to also introduce an immersive setting experience. Again, very targeted, based upon your usage insights, and that's coming to simplify tasks for end user to configure their experiences. We showed you a little bit Me Control. It was on the top. You can see the picture. Today, it is tied to only one identity. What we will allow is for you to have multiple identities. Most of our end users have at least two identities. They have the work identity and their life identities, such as Hotmail account, so on and so forth. So what we'll allow is that you can hook up your multiple identities to the switcher and then very seamlessly switch between your identities. Now, the cool thing about it is that we are providing personalized experiences, so you have your preferences for each of your identities, and when you switch, those things will carry over. So you will see a seamless transition between work and life. So that's the key deliverable for us in the coming year. Let me quickly talk about notifications. I already spent a lot of time. We showed you notifications throughout the demos. We are going to add more types of notifications because we have just built the platform. And as we increase the number of type of notifications, we are also going to make them smarter. What I mean by that is that we will be aware which device you are on, which workload you're using, what moment of time you are in, and we'll make sure that you get the right notification at the right moment. In addition, since we get these lot of notifications across the devices, we will make sure that, for example, if you dismiss your notification in one place, it gets dismissed and acknowledged across the board, regardless of which device you're on, regardless of which experience or workload you're using. So a lot of intelligence work going on the notification side for us. The help pane and what's new. In this conference, you are all attending lots of sessions and lots of new features, and there is definitely an opportunity for us to make it simpler and simpler how users learn new features and become productive with it. So some of the things we showed, actually what Nick showed, how about groups and clutter, how easy it was to see what you were doing, and actually you could do it right in line. We're going to continue to invest there. And fifth pillar, managed. Nick showed you how to add the third-party apps. You can also add your line of business apps inside the My Apps page, which can be pinned on top, pinned in the top by the user. What we are also going to allow is admins to be able to define default tiles for App Launcher for their entire employees. So again, we're going to add more and more features there. Admins will also be able to allow individuals and departments within their organizations to acquire apps and purchase them. We are doing a lot of work here that we do it in a graceful manner, but that's a big area of focus for us. Similarly, you just saw some support, organization support card and work. We'll continue to do that. Okay. So time for another video. Let me quickly show a very quick video on contextual experiences. Okay, with that, I want to thank you for your time. You were very patient and walked you through a lot of stuff. I want to hand it to Nick for some wrap-up comments and then Q&A.
Great. Thanks, Raza. All right, so we just have a few next steps for you. Our email aliases are here. Please feel free to email us with additional questions, comments, feedback. We love hearing from you and the people that are using the products every day. Make sure you tune into Office Blogs, the official source of truth for all announcements coming out of Office and Office 365. The Office 365 roadmap, which is where we load all the new features in that are coming to the experience. Of course, the Success Center has great adoption materials to get everybody going. And then finally, a couple of Yammer networks that if you're not already a part of, you should definitely join and get involved in. Some great conversations. So thanks very much for joining us. It looks like we have maybe about 5 to 10 minutes, and we'd be happy to do a little bit of Q&A if there's some questions. Yeah, do you want to just speak into the mic?
So first of all, really great, well-orchestrated demo. Loved it, one of the best. My question is more around the customization aspect. You talked about the pillars and the ability to manage. Appreciate the ability to customize and add new apps to the app launcher. But what if my organization is very traditional and don't want the apps that are already there? For example, they don't have Delve. They don't want, say, for example, Yammer, right? Obviously, there's the ability to turn off Office Graph, turn off Yammer, and we did that, but it still got pushed to the app launcher. So that's just one aspect of change management that we got to deal with. But I'm also wondering, is there something on the roadmap that would allow us to control the services we turn on and off on the suite that you're offering?
As you mentioned, for example, you can turn off Office Graph from the admin app. And there we have some coarse-grained controls to manage that. For example, in your subscription, the current way App Launcher works is we look at each service plan and what is assigned to a user. And if, for example, you unassign some apps to the end user, they won't show for App Launcher. So we will on the App Launcher. So again, I would say there is some levels of controls we have already built into it. Change management, I will actually completely agree with you. We need to do a much better job at it, and things have kind of gone forward, and we bring them back. That's why there is actually a whole Office change management process, and actually there is a section we did on that one exactly, where we are pushing each of the feature teams to follow that process. There is an internal commitment that we will not ship any feature unless it goes through that process. Okay.
We saw you create the groups on the one screen. There was another middle section where you were able to add files associated with that group. Is there anything on the notification side that when Catherine was to update her Excel spreadsheet or the PowerPoint, that a notification would go out to the group automatically, either through a subscription service or something like that, that file had been updated.
Yeah, I am on. I think there's definitely an opportunity there. It's not there yet. And that's part of what Raza was talking to you about, how we evolve the notification center. There's a big balance here of overwhelming our users with notifications. And before we go do that, let's make sure we have the right way to present that to you so that you don't feel like, okay, all right, you created another presentation, fine, yeah, I got it already, you know? So we really want to make sure that we have the infrastructure in place before we start funneling all of those through. But you're right, great opportunity.
Actually, that's a great suggestion. Let me give you a t-shirt for it. And the reason why I say that is because we are collecting suggestions for which notifications users will find valuable. That's a great suggestion. Thank you.
Go back over here.
Okay. I have a question. We have, or are considering a hybrid environment where we'd be doing SharePoint locally. Would we be able to include the shell for our Office 365 users?
You want me to take that one?
Yeah, why don't you take it?
Okay. We're working on this one.
Okay.
That's the best answer I can give you right now. We acknowledge that hybrid is a really important scenario for us, and we definitely want to make sure that you guys get the best possible experiences there as well. We're working on it.
Okay. And also, I noticed on iOS that you don't get the shell for any of the Outlook apps, like Outlook, well, Mail, Calendar. You guys work on that too?
Yeah, we are actually working on a new design for our mobile shell, which we'll hopefully be able to share shortly with you guys in the next 3 to 6 months. And then you will hopefully see that across all of the applications in mobile as well.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Back over here.
Yeah, I have a question. I work in a conglomerate, and we would like to distribute control to different business units. We have 14 business units. Is that possible? We saw the admin go in and change themes and do different stuff. Is that possible to do under one tenant to actually push control of web apps or site collections?
Yeah, so let me take this one. The way it depends upon how you have set up your tenant. If you have set up one giant tenant, so our controls are at tenant levels. If you set up each of those business units as separate tenant, then you get that control over it. So that's where we are today. But again, you probably saw some of the Active Directory sessions. There is a new model we're bringing with the administrative units and things like that, but it's early in the process. So right now, what I would say the answer is it's at tenant level, and if you determine what your tenant architecture is, if you have multiple tenants, then absolutely you can control things at that level. But if you have one giant tenant, these things are at tenant level.
Hey, Catherine. I noticed that in your demo, you created an Excel document and then you saved the Excel document. I'm just wondering, is it saved to, kind of like a personal OneDrive, or is it a shared environment? And then I guess the second question is, if I was to do that and then leave an organization, what happens to that content? And the ability to, I guess, continue to share that document.
Yeah, so it is shared in my OneDrive. It is shared in my personal drive. And because I've shared it with other people, they automatically get access to it. So it's not technically shared with everyone at that point, which might be a good thing, depending on what I'm sharing. If you leave your company, no, you cannot access that document anymore. It's stored on the company servers, and you access it with your own personal account in that company.
And in that case, would the people who remain with that organization, even if I've left and I've saved it, would they still have access to that?
Yes,
document?
they will.
Okay.
Yeah, they will.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem. Last
Go ahead.
question,
Yeah.
think.
I could, okay, so you know what? Let him go ahead.
Yeah, and we'll be here for a few minutes after, so
Okay,
go ahead
yeah.
and come on
Just
up
follow
too.
up.
Thanks.
This is a short one. Do you have any thoughts about providing the same experience on the thick clients?
Rich clients?
No.
Rich clients, yeah. Why not considering as one app instead of?
We are considering it. Yeah. That's what Catherine was referring to, mobile shell. The modality of a thick client, as you said, is actually somewhat different. And so a lot of concepts apply there as well. But then it's we have to think about a lot of this stuff differently if you're in a completely disconnected mode and so on and so forth. So it's a discussion topic. It's an important discussion topic. Actually, I just responded to an email on that exact topic. We are starting our next cycle planning, and this is one of the hot topics for that.
Great. As I mentioned, we'll be here for a few more minutes if people want to come up and talk to us, but thanks everybody for joining.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys.